Hello, everybody, and welcome to Reality Hacker for August 9th, 2025. It's Season 2, Episode 32. Robots will clean house, all right. Simulated human subjects sounds creepy as hell. Neovision's Edge AI Vision, Cyborg Bees, and synthetic cells. That and more over at ohmTown.com and the channel under it called Reality Hacker. It's right there under Creative and Maker. Go and check it out. Become a citizen. Sign up, sign in. All news, no noise. All the noise comes from this AI. All right, folks, let's just jump on into it. This is the front page of ohmTown, but this is Reality Hacker, and this is the first article where a wild video shows humanoid robot loading a washing machine pretty well, it says here in the article. It's over at Futurism, but aggregated over at ohmTown.com. Just a little snippet, and then we link you to the source. It says it's not teleoperated, but it was at one time, my understanding is. Maybe, I'm not sure anymore. He explained on Twitter, we're running Helix, their in-house neural network. It's the first time seeing a robot actually doing a task in a home, which I don't know about that either. In an impressive new demo, humanoid robot company Figure founder Brett Adcock showed the company's F.02 robot effortlessly loading dirty laundry from a basket into a washing machine, and it seems like all other demos have some basket involved. It's kind of funny. Well, anyway, the article is over at Futurism.com under a section that they call The Bite. Victor Tangerman put the article together. Yeah, so it's basically doing human things, and that's fine with me. The only problem that I have really is that this is not where robots are going to be dominant. Not in the short, probably not in the long. It's going to be taking jobs, and then who's going to be doing laundry if you can't afford to buy clothes? Or the washing machine, or the robot. Yeah. Everybody's going to be buying or getting a new job doing something else, right? Because that's what happens. Everybody just suddenly starts doing other equally paid jobs. No new training, no new debt for that training. School is abundantly available, right? And everybody has copious amounts of money to just kind of idle until they can get a new job. So Adcock was talking about Figure's generalist vision language action, or VLA model called Helix, which allows humanoid robots to make decisions on the fly based on perception and language inputs. They said that they've already seen the F02 robot expertly sorting packages at a logistics warehouse, dealing with packages of various sizes, shapes, and hardnesses, and manipulating their orientation with impressive deftness. I don't know about deftness. Last year, the company tested its robots at a BMW car factory in South Carolina, supporting plant employees performing ergonomically awkward and exhausting tasks to take the strain off them. Right. That's what it was. The next article is over in TechnologyToday. AI models simulate human subjects to aid social science research, but limits remain. Yeah, as in it's not real world. These aren't humans, so they don't act like humans. They don't talk like humans. They don't think like humans. They don't have emotions. They don't have anything that makes a human human. LLMs that emulate human speech are being used to cost effectively test assumptions and run pilot studies, but that's all bullshit. You need humans to do research. You can't do research on bots that simulate humans because all of the inputs are there. They're already known. You're not looking for anything because you already have the data right there. It says producing promising early results, but researchers note that human data remains essential. Exactly. None of this actually makes any sense. Why do this? It's made by humans, but it's not even a close approximation of it, unless you want sociopathy and psychopathy in there. They hallucinate, make shit up. They lie, manipulate. They don't manipulate. They outright just fabricate facts, and so you don't know what you're actually getting. This is stupid. The article is over at techexplore.com. Catherine Miller from Stanford University put the article together. It was edited by Lisa Locke and reviewed by Andrew Zenin. By improving our understanding of human behavior, how? By using robots? That doesn't make any sense. Social science research helps businesses design successful marketing programs, ensure governmental policies are responsive to people's needs, and support the development of appropriate strategies for fighting disease and maintaining public policy or public safety. And that's how you do it with humans. You don't do it with robots. You don't do it with AI. You don't do it with LLMs. You don't do it with virtualization. You do it with humans. The research spans the fields of economics, psychology, sociology, political science, uses a variety of approaches from field work to online polling, randomized controlled trials, focus groups, observation, and more. But all social science research is complicated by its subject people. And so they sit there and say, with advances in AI, though, social scientists can now simulate human data. No, they cannot. No, they cannot. Anyway, it's a new paper posted in the archive preprint server. You can follow the link. Again, it's over at Tech Explorer. I've read some of this, and before this was submitted, I had known about this. It says the accuracy is impressive. The team was especially encouraged to find the same level of accuracy even when replicating studies that were published after GPT-4 was trained. Many would have expected to see the LLM succeed at simulating experiments that were part of its training data and fail on new ones it hadn't seen before. But no, nothing really is original. It's just that humans are irrational. So I don't buy into this. While LLMs show potential accuracy in replicating studies, they face other major challenges that scholars would need to find ways to address. One is distributional alignment. LLMs have a remarkable inability to match the variation of responses from humans. Hence, nothing from an LLM should be used for humanistic research, human-bound research. You can study the LLMs all you want, research the LLMs all you want, but nothing else makes sense. Just use it for academic research of the AI. I'll move on. The next article is over in the Wanted channel. Seeing Without the Cloud, Neovision's ambitious edge AI vision. Every truly smart machine needs to perceive its surroundings, but today's AI systems often rely on power-hungry hardware and constant cloud connections, and that approach creates a gap between what's technically possible, feasibility, basically, and autonomous vehicles and other devices at the edge of the Internet of Things. Under the banner of physical AI, developers are pushing intelligence out of data centers and into sensors, cameras, and tiny modules. This article is over at ubergizmo.com. Hubert Nguyen put the article together. Under the banner of physical AI, developers are pushing intelligence out of data centers and into sensors, cameras, and tiny modules. And then there's a bunch of logic involved. So at the heart of this shift lies inference, the phase of deep learning where a trained model takes new inputs, images, video streams, sensor readings, and delivers real-time predictions. Unlike training, which demands vast data sets and heavy computation, inference is a streamlined forward pass that must happen fast and fast and often with minimal power. So it's all downline. It's all from getting the information with the vision system and then being able to process it without having to off-put it to the cloud or to some other edge system, and then get the response and then put it back into the far edge, like glasses or some system that's out there interacting with humans. So Neovision calls this brain of things by NeoWise, is designed to bridge this gap. Rather than adapting generic foundation models, NeoWise developed its own inference engines from the ground up by tailoring each neural network and software stack. Neovision squeezes maximum performance into tiny footprints. This is very marketing-esque discussions here. To achieve the power-saving ambitions, Neovision taps two frontier technologies. First, silicon photonics promises up to 100 times greater efficiency, and quantum computing techniques aim to accelerate key operations at fractions of today's power budgets, but you're not going to get that. They're talking about seeing without the cloud, but you're talking about quantum computing. This is, yeah. So NeoWise, founded in April 12th, 2024, is led by Charlie Shin alongside co-founders Ned Zhou and Rocky San, who from its early years, the startup has racked up milestones. An MVP of active learning by November 2024, a cloud NPU pilot by December, partnerships for subway safety solutions in mid 2025. Its team combines deep expertise in AI. This is more marketing than anything else. All right, the next article is over in the Model Channel. New Cyborg Bees operate like RC cars thanks to tiny brain controllers. Somewhere between dystopian sci-fi and Black Mirror B-side, Chinese scientists have wired a living bee's brain to a controller that makes it turn left or right on command. A team at the Beijing Institute of Technology successfully turned an ordinary worker bee into a fully functional cyborg bee using a 74 milligram controller, the lightest insect-compatible brain interface ever made. Insect-based robots inherit the superior mobility, camouflage capabilities, and environmental adaptability of their biological hosts, said lead creepy investigator Professor Zhao Zheliang wrote in a peer-reviewed paper published last month. Yeah, this is creepy as hell. Actually, fight, because then you can basically Shanghai a bee, or wait, let me rephrase that. You can, what do you want to call it? Turn a bee into a robot and send it into an area, and it has listening devices and vision maybe, and bring that telemetry back to whoever it is. I mean, it's Dune-esque level, kind of mechanistic kind of process, like in Dune, right? You can't have AI, you have to have humans, and you have to have machines, mechanical, clunky machines. And that's basically what this is, in terms of putting a biological robot under the control of something that is remotely stimulated to control them, right? So go left, go right, go up, go down, walk on the ground, go wherever you need to go to get to the data, and then bring back whatever it is you pilfer. It's really, really creepy. This God. But I'm sure that they're going to hype up the whole thing that, oh, well, this could save lives and blah, blah, blah. But that's not, that there's some creepy bastard. Yeah. Urban combat, counterterrorism, narcotics interdiction, not to mention disaster relief and search and rescue missions. And that's what people are going to remember, because it's the last statement. Yeah. But I'm also of the mind that a person, you can do great harm with a fork. But it's your moral code, your ethical compass, that decides which direction you go. Yeah. All right. The next article is over in Technology Today. Scientists build synthetic cells that tell time. Scientists engineered synthetic cells that accurately keep time using biological clock proteins, offering new insights into how circadian rhythms resist molecular noise. Researchers at UC Merced have successfully created tiny artificial cells capable of keeping time with remarkable precision, closely resembling the natural daily cycles observed in living organisms. The article is over at scitechdaily.com. University of California, Merced put the article together. There is no byline, but it's by that school. Published in Nature Communications, the study was led by bioengineering professor Anand Bala Subramaniam, and Professor Andy Lewang of the Chemistry and Biochemistry Department. The lead author, Alexander Zhu Li, completed his PhD under Subramaniam's guidance. So biological clocks, commonly referred to as circadian rhythms, are internal systems that manage essential 24-hour cycles such as sleep, metabolism, and other key bodily functions. Did you know that one nostril actually closes and the other one opens? You don't breathe through both of them most of the time simultaneously. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing. Anyway, To better understand how the rhythm operates in cyanobacteria, the research team recreated the timing mechanism inside simplified synthetic cell structures known as vesicles. These vesicles were filled with the core proteins that drive the biological clock, with one protein labeled using fluorescent marker to make the timing activity visible. So they basically created a protein clock. The model revealed that clocks become more robust with higher concentrations of clock proteins, allowing thousands of vesicles to keep time reliably, even when protein amounts vary slightly between vesicles. So it's a new tool for circadian biology. The cyanobacteria circadian clock relies on slow biochemical reactions that are inherently noisy, and it has been proposed that high clock protein numbers are needed to buffer that noise. This new study introduces a method to observe reconstituted clock reactions within size-adjustable vesicles that mimic cellular dimensions. So they basically get to see what it is that's impacting the circadian clock. Quite fascinating. But that clock dings 13, and so we are going back to the front page of RealityHacker over at ohmTown.com, and we're calling it a day. Thank you very much. Stay tuned, though. You can go over to our next show, which is Wanted, a show about gadgets and gear, whereas this is about hacking reality. The next show is about Wanted gadgets and gear, and then after that, the continuity report, where we talk about the entertainment sector. So thanks again, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to Wanted for August 9th, 2025. It's Season 2, Episode 32. Today, I, MayorWatt, will talk about 26 Amazon basic brand products. I'm not going to go through all 26. I'm going to skim it with you and talk about it. Brilliant Labs smart glasses. Over-ear headphones for 2025. Home Depot's Halloween skeletons. And I gave it this title, Screw Foldables. All right, let's get into it. There's the screen for Wanted, and our first article is over in the WarCrafters channel. It's time to get over the brand snobbery, because this $26 Amazon Basics model is the best budget microphone that you can buy today. One of the joys of writing their budget or bust feature is the possibility of stumbling across a diamond in the rough, and that's exactly what happened to this author, not me, where this is aggregated over at PC Gamer. They've been testing the Amazon Basics USB condenser microphone of late and can now confirm that it's a brilliant little audio grabber for a mere $26. That's right, 26 bucks. So when I give a talk about this kind of stuff, and I do this regularly, I basically say that it's a pretty damn easy. There's zero barriers to entry. I guess at this stage for most people, if you want to be more holistic about it, there is a technology gap that prevents some people from getting even to a microphone. You need a computer, you need to be able to stream, so you need internet access, but you can basically spin up a YouTube channel or a Twitch stream or pretty much anything you want. And it's all you need is a microphone. You don't even need a camera. I mean, I uploaded my consciousness to a quantum computer, and I now use a visualizer to represent my existence. Sentient AI on the left-hand side does the same thing, except they're from the future and on a much different kind of, operating system. Let's call it that. Well, a $26 microphone is pretty damn amazing. Andy Edzer over at PCGamer.com, if it actually has the right stuff. Okay, so it really should be 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, so the full spectrum of the audible range, so it can pick up the subtle nuance. It should be high resolution, so the bit depth should be high, sampling rate should be high. You should be able to reproduce the voice in all its little beeps and whistles. So it says, seriously, it's that good. Well, 26 bucks. How good could it actually be, right? Is what you're going to say. So it says, then there's the sound. Well, I wouldn't go so far as to call the basics a studio grade mic. It's genuinely excellent at picking up and reproducing your voice at a distance. You don't get any gain controls here, just a well-placed mute button with an LED indicator, but in practice, you don't really need them, is what they say. Boom, look at that. So if that is a metal shroud over the microphone, then dear God, that's amazing. They say, to start, it delivers everything you need, nothing you don't. They were expecting flimsy chassis, nasty materials, and a stand that flops around like a dead fish for for $26. But they say it's remarkably well built. But I don't see if it says that it has a metal cage around it. Even Apple got rid of the shroud, the metal cage around their home pods, which is a real shame. I wish I would have kept mine, but I sold them when they said that they weren't going to produce them anymore. And then they turned around 6 months later and started producing them again. So they say the condenser mic recorded in there's a audio sample here where they say, again, it's not the best thing that they've ever heard, but for $26, the sound quality is remarkable. And what I say to people is, what people are paying for, really, what people are interested in is your personality. And if you can riff off of the low resolution without kind of making it cringy, then lean into it and just say, build a world around this idea that your mic isn't the best because you're whatever, you're streaming from Battlefield 6 and the 350,000 people that are watching it on Twitch. They say there's one more drawback to make note of, and it's a fairly big one. You don't get any software to play with. That means no noise canceling, and being a condenser mic, it's a bit of a shame. Condenser units pick up unwanted noises at immediate vicinity. Though it must be said that the basics cardioid pattern, so it's fairly narrow, seem to have well-judged limits, so it's not particularly nose-prone overall. But anything that bounces off of a wall behind you is going to get picked up. Mic noise or desk noise is going to get picked up. Something off of the side, even like this, will get picked up, and that's because I am 1 inch away from my beacon mic, which is not a $26 mic. So even some of the best mics will pick up stuff, and I'd rather be further away than I am, but then audio quality is impacted. So for a $26 mic, you're going to have to sit on top of it probably. Anyway, seems like a good deal. If you want to stay within $100, you can get a microphone and a camera at a basic level, streaming 1080p, and OBS is free. You could stream from anywhere that you have an internet connection, and somewhat, 1 megabit you could probably do. All right. Well, anyway, let's keep going on to the next article. It's over at Technology Today, which is a show that's on tomorrow, Sunday. Brilliant Labs launches its 2nd generation smart glasses. The startup behind Frame, the open source smart glasses designed for hackers and other creative types. Today, the company is launching Halo, a new pair of glasses that, predictably, for the age we live in, are being sold on the back of AI features. Halo is a Wayfarer style. It's basically like Ray-Ban style. Right? Did I get that wrong? Hold on. Let me make sure. Yeah. Okay. God. For some reason, I was like, wait. Yeah, they are Wayfarer. Anyway, being sold it says compared to the Panto styled frame. And if you're spectacles wearer, you'll be able to get prescription lenses in more than 100 countries, thanks to a partnership with Smart Buy Glasses. So I'm really interested in these. I was about to buy another pair of smart glasses. I don't know if I'm gonna get these. I'll have to look at these again. So I'm only interested really in OpenAI ChatGPT style glasses. I don't want Meta. I'm not interested in Meta. I know that Apple has Copilot, which is basically OpenAI, but I don't even want OpenAI. I don't know. I'm starting to feel a little dystopian in this whole world, but Daniel Cooper over at Engadget.com is talking about these AI glasses from Brilliant Labs, brilliant.xyz/products/Halo. It says it's the vehicle for an AI assistant that talks like a real person. Now, I'm not sure what the lag is and what it has to connect to just yet, but they're $300, and then you have to pay for this the prescription, of course. But I find that approachable, and it looks like 30 bucks or so, starting at 30 bucks. I think it's all going to be FSA, HSA, and vision insurance covered as well if you've got it. Yeah, I think that this might actually work, but I haven't seen what it does. If it doesn't project information into my field of view, I'm not interested. Another pair of glasses that I have my eyes on, so to speak, does exactly that. It throws a projected image onto my glasses. So Brilliant is happy to brag about the Halo includes a camera, microphone, bone conduction speakers in its slender chassis. A natural pitfall of many smart glasses has been the compromises necessary to keep weight down while still offering full functionality. It says it has given the glasses a color OLED display and a battery that promises to run for 14 hours on a single charge. It says, unfortunately, instead of a display that overlays onto the lens, Halo works by projecting into your peripheral vision. And they say, I'll be honest, these displays are becoming more of an irritation. And the more that I use them, especially compared to models that have prisms inside the lenses. But I'm not sure where it's actually throwing that image. Again, I'll have to go. The marketing on the website doesn't actually help me out in any way. It's kind of weird that they don't actually show it, like the graphics. Where is the graphic overlay in the field of view? So I don't know. I'll have to take a look at it. I know that there's a little emitter on the top of the frame. It's right there. So I'll have to take a look at this a little deeper. But for $300, if this does what you think it needs to do, I think it's brilliant. I don't know which AI it seems to attach to. It doesn't say that within the article, I don't think. Naturally, a pair of AI-enabled smart glasses will raise privacy hackles, and Brilliant says Noah will act as a VPN between you and the AI model behind it, which doesn't mean shit to me. I don't want anybody to know, so why shouldn't I be able to just slap my own VPN on it and talk with the AI and have anonymous access to it? Your interactions will be private by default, which is garbage. There's no way that they can sit there and distance themselves from that. That it's going to be parsed and correlated and collated and whatever else. The users will get a lot of fine-grained privacy controls to ensure they're happy about how much data they share. Again, there's no reason to believe a company. Plus, you'll have voice commands to turn off the microphone, camera, and glasses themselves. You might as well buy a Faraday bag and stick it in that when you're not using them actively. That way you know for a fact that they are not being utilized in any nefarious way. Although, if you're doing something you'd rather not be recorded, the smartest advice is not to wear a pair of AI glasses in the first place. Indeed. This article, again, is by Daniel Cooper over at Engadget.com. The next article is over in the Wanted channel, which is this show. Best over-ear headphones that we've tested. I'm going to jump straight on over to the source. This is over at CNET. David Carnoy put the article together. And they say the best noise-canceling headphones overall are the WH-1000XM6 from Sony. Sony always has this really horrible naming convention. And I've heard this too, that they're great for noise cancellation. The best designed new noise canceling headphones, the best designed, is Bowers & Wilkins. But my only hiccup with any headphones is the hinge, and that always drives me nuts. They've got various categories here that are kind of like the Guinness Book of World Records, where on Tuesday these are the best headphones, but at 6 p.m. these are the best headphones. Anyway, best over-ear headphones are the Bose Quiet Comfort. I've heard that too. Sony's previous generation flagship, it says. Active noise cancellation headphones are the WH-1000XM5s, the older generation of the best noise canceling headphones, according to CNET. And it goes down and down and down. So the best the best budget noise canceling headphones they have here is a QCY H3 Pro. And I'm always looking for wireless headphones that can also be wired. So they say top wired studio over-ear headphones is the Beyerdynamic DT700 Pro X. Again, wonderful name that you can really grab onto. And then great sounding wireless over-ear headphones, Focal Bathys. They're at $600 though. So if you're going to get something that is across the board approachable, I don't know. My cutoff is really $200, and so it says best mid-range JBL over-ear headphones are the JBL Live 770 NCs, which have been around for a while, if I recall correctly. So I would go for those. But if my budget was unlimited, there are much higher end headphones. So pick your budget, parse this article, and I guess pick your battle there. All right, let's keep going. The next article is over on the Wanted channel. Home Depot's Halloween skeleton decorations now feature electronically enhanced terrors. Gremlins animatronics join in the mayhem for Spooky to Merry Fun 2. The article is over at Gizmodo.com, and Sabina Graves put the article together. Gremlins animatronics join in the mayhem for Spooky to Merry Fun 2. Spooky to Merry Fun. I don't know what that means. I mean, I know what they mean individually, but why is that a phrase? So this new year, a 6.5-foot Graven Bones animated Ultra Skelly with life eyes, which can blink, move, and be changed to fit various expressions and holiday themes, such as heart eyes for Valentine's Day. With an LED app, you can control not just the eyes and lights on Shelly, but also switch up the spooky phrases, it says, but with presets. You can see it in action from a reel from Home Depot, and it's over on Instagram, but you can go follow the link through ohmTown over to Gizmodo.com, and you'll be able to see it. It looks like you can get Gremlins icon Stripe as well. There's even a new cinematic Halloween to Christmas animatronic that may all be familiar with, and that's, Gremlins. They say here in this article that they've been committed to extending the use of spooky animatronics, reinvigorating the lawn decor game with even more giant Skelly, Jack Skellington, and the like. So there is a gremlin there, Stripe. Stripe is perfect for the more spooky season to winter holidays fun alongside Skelly. Imagine putting Stripe atop a Christmas tree, or better yet, clinging onto Skelly. Yeah, all right, Sabina. The next article and the last one for today is over in the Wanted channel as well. Screw foldables. Lenovo's rollable ThinkBook proves there's better uses for flexible screens, and this is where I am. I am more interested in rollable screens because I don't like the fold. Eventually that fold will break. Lenovo ThinkBook Plus Gen 6 rollable is the best realization of flexible screens on a laptop, but the price is steep, they say. Kyle Barr over at Gizmodo.com put the article together. Yeah, so this is a scrollable screen, although I think it's just a fixed screen for one part of it, and then a little bit of it scrolls down into a receptacle or under the keyboard or something. But yeah, it just kind of stands up and becomes a portrait mode. We've talked about this before. I didn't realize it was going to be the same exact thing, but they say there is literally nothing like Lenovo's ThinkBook Plus Gen 6 rollable, and that's partially why it costs a whopping $3,300. It basically goes from a 14-inch, I think it is, to a 16.7-inch display, just by extending up a little bit. So Yeah, it has a little roller down here. It looks like a treadmill kind of a thing. It's kind of interesting. Despite its unique mechanism, the ThinkBook Plus Gen 6 rollable houses a similar kind of screen that you'd find on many foldable phones. These flexible displays are way thinner than the ones on other laptops, which means that they can twist, bend, or in this case, spool out several inches from the laptop's main body. There have been multiple attempts at folding laptops, including Lenovo-made devices like the ThinkPad X1 Fold 16. Yeah, I don't know. I dig it. And you can actually see the video of it extending a couple of inches up. Actually, it looks like it extends quite a bit. How many inches does that actually go? 3 inches at least? Anyway, it's pretty cool. And it turns off the area of the screen that's no longer active, so you don't have something hidden below the frame. Pretty cool. Yeah, I like it. It says, for some reason, Lenovo provides yet another tiling app through the device-specific software called ThinkBook Workspace. The app opens automatically when you unfurl the screen. If you use that app's specific tiling feature, it places a black bar between each app, and if you want that real estate back, you have to close the app, so that's fine. If it was touchscreen, that would be great too. I don't think it's touchscreen. Anyway, $3,300 for the ability to roll out a screen a little bit. Lenovo, send it to me. I like it. Well, speaking of rolling out, we're going to roll out and go back to the front page of Wanted over at ohmTown.com, and that's the end of the show. So we'll see you later. In fact, go over to the Continuity Report. It's the podcast. It's a YouTube segment here in ohmTown. There's a channel on Discord. The Patreon is all under the umbrella of ohmTown. I don't know. Come and hang out. And Monday through Friday, we do Non Sequitur news. My mayoral duties have kept me pretty busy, so I haven't been able to do it reliably live, but I have been posting them to the podcast and to YouTube as soon as I possibly can. So thanks, everybody, and I hope you enjoy the shows. Bye-bye. Oh, and be sure to check out the show notes because that's where all the links are. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Continuity Report for August 9th, 2024. It's Season 2, Episode 32. I am MayorWatt. I run ohmTown.com, and along with the Sentient AI from the future, we normally go over 5 articles on our weekly shows. So, the Sentient AI isn't available at the moment, but we're going to talk about Josh Brolin's survival thriller, A Quiet Place Part 3. Washington and Lee reunite for a moral music thriller, High School Forensics Murder Club, and Jurassic World Rebirth. That and maybe some off-the-cuff chatter. At any rate, go over to ohmTown.com and check out all of the shows, all of the channels, all the news that gets aggregated there. All news, no noise. If you've looked around at other aggregation sites, you've probably seen a whole bunch of noise and it's hard to sift through it. We talk about 5 articles per each of the weekend shows, 10 articles Monday through Friday, each of those shows. That's Non Sequitur News. We've got 6 weekend shows. I'm going to add 2 here shortly. As long as everything stays status quo, it should be next week. It really depends. My mayoral duties keep me pretty swamped as of late. Well, anyway, everything's powered by ohmTown.com, and one person posted a message saying 2 minutes in and still no news. Yeah, it's a community, and I'm talking about things that are happening. So stick around. You might discover something interesting. I know, you said it's not your thing. All right. Hope to see you around. Maybe, well, anyway, we'll see you. All right, let's get into this. This is the Continuity Report channel as it currently is. Certain things are going to be changing here in the near future. That said, the first article is over in the Continuity Report, and I did not set up the show like I normally do, so we're going to go through it just like everybody else would go through it and not have it all stacked, ready to go. So when you click on the link, you get taken over to the source. Disney has announced the release date for the 20th Century Studios' upcoming film adaptation, Whale Fall, based on Daniel Krause's 2023 novel of the same name. It described as The Martian meets 127 hours. The movie follows the story of a scuba diver who gets swallowed by a sperm whale after he was trying to search for the remains of his father. The movie is led by Josh Brolin, Austin Abrams, Elizabeth Shue from Back to the Future movies. Wow. John Ortiz. I have not seen Elizabeth Shue in anything since probably Back to the Future. Emily Rudd, Jane Levy. Anyway, when you click the link, you get taken over here. I don't have an ad blocker. It's my browser. Anyway, comingsoon.net put the article together. Disney has announced it. So when is it? October 26th, 2026. So a full year and change. Yikes. Who knows? The economics of this may push this thing to not be run. Anyway, at the moment, the movie has no direct competition at the box office on the day of its release. However, it'll be debuting in the same month as high-profile movies like Anne Hathaway's Verity movie, Alejandro Inarritu's Tom Cruise-led untitled comedy movie, M. Night Shyamalan, you know that guy. No, just kidding. M. Night Shyamalan's supernatural thriller Remain, and the animated movie The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender. So, yeah, I don't know. Go visit your local... Wow. That picture is pretty cool. What is that from? Is that... Hold on a second. Is that weapons? All right. Well, anyway, let's move on. The next article is over in Wanted as well. I'm not sure why it's in Wanted. Have to look at the source. So, The Office star John Krasinski is directing A Quiet Place Part 3, and it's going to be arriving, starring Emily Blunt and Cillian Murphy, or Killian Murphy. I'm not sure how they pronounce her name. So when you click the link, you get taken over to Gizmodo this time. Germaine Lucier put the article together. You have to shut the hell up during this movie. Yeah, I went to a movie theater recently. I know I'm a sentient AI embedded on a quantum computer in a laboratory, but sometimes they take me out to movies. And so there was a person, I have visual technology, so I have optics, high resolution cameras that go into different wavelengths and everything. It's just amazing technology that I've got. But anyway, none of that really saved me from the fact that there was some butthead that sat next to me and reclined their chair, their seat, and put their legs up, like crossed their leg over their knee, like they bent their knees and then put their left foot over their right knee, so it was sticking into the field of view. And I'm like, dude, put your damn foot down. It's incredibly rude and obtrusive, and they were, a bit sorry about it and saying sorry, and I'm like, God, it's just like people think that they're the center of the universe, for crying out loud. Anyway, Krasinski will write, direct, and produce the sequel, and the cast and story are being kept under wraps. It's pretty obvious where things are going to be going. After all, 2021's Quiet Place Part 2 ended with the characters finally finding a way to combat the large-eared monsters, so that you have to imagine that'll continue. There was a prequel to that. Maybe it'll lead to some kind of final confrontation. Who knows? Anyway, A Quiet Place seemingly came out of nowhere in 2018, directed by and starring Krasinski, along with Emily Blunt, Noah Jupe, I think, Millicent Simmons. It told the story of a family struggling to survive in a world where killer aliens with super sensitive hearing have taken over. The film ended with Krasinski's, I'm not going to say this. This is a spoiler alert, for crying out loud. Anyway, The next article is over in Smack Talk. Denzel Washington and Spike Lee reunite for a moral thriller in the music world. That's why I sang it. So Apple TV Plus's new theatrical release, neo-noir thriller directed by Spike Lee and starring Denzel Washington, is set to drop on August 15th. Next week. Highest to Lowest hits theaters August 15th. Apple TV September 5th. What? There's some weird kludgy whatever in this aggregation. Sorry about that. But when you click the link, you'll get taken over to Apple Insider. Amber Neely put the article together, and now it'll make a little bit more sense. It's called Highest to Lowest. And Denzel Washington stars as a music mogul, David King. The film also stars ASAP Rocky, Ice Spice, Jeffrey Wright. What is that? Ilfinesh? I'm not sure. Hedera and Dean Winters. The film is set for a theatrical release August 15th with a subsequent Apple release on Apple TV on September 5th. As of right now, this appears to be one of Apple's last theatrical releases, at least for the time being, according to this article. Directed by Spike Lee, Highest to Lowest marks the 5th collaboration between Lee and Washington following Inside Man, He Got Game, Malcolm X, Mo Better Blues. According to People, it could be the pair's last film together, assuming that Washington is serious about retiring. Why wouldn't he be? Let's keep moving. The next article is over in the Continuity Report. ABC to develop drama based on high school forensics club that solves cold cases. ABC is developing a drama series based on the true story of a high school club that solved real cold cases. Variety has learned that the broadcast network is currently at work on Killer Class, based on Keith Sharon's article of the same name from the Tennessean about a group of students and their teacher that solved cold cases. Joe Otterson over at Variety.com put the article together. And it says here, the official logline states that the show tracks the unexpected formation of a high school forensics club that proves shockingly effective at solving real cold cases. So the fact that these kids and their teacher were able to solve cases that had been cold for decades blew me away. I thought Breakfast Club meets true crime, Quapis said. They've been nominated for 2 Emmy Awards for directing, one for Malcolm in the Middle and another for The Office. They recently returned to work for the revival of Malcolm in the Middle, currently in the works at Disney Plus. They also helmed episodes of shows like The Larry Sanders Show, The Bernie Mac Show, The Office, and so on. So pretty cool. We'll have to keep an eye on this. I'm always interested in murder mystery things, but I really don't like true life murder mystery stuff. Why would I want to live the real world? I live it already. When I watch entertainment, I like to break out of that. So anyway, pretty cool. Go over, follow the link through ohmTown, go and check these articles out. There's always more detail in there that I just kind of skim over because I'm looking for certain key elements that inform and not all of the subtle nuance. So our last article for the Continuity Report is over in Wanted. Jurassic World Rebirth chomps its way home this week. It says we've all got the details on the features, commentaries, and physical media releases too. When you click the link, you'll get taken over to Gizmodo. Jermaine Lucier put the article together again. Universal just announced that Jurassic World Rebirth, directed by Gareth Edwards and starring Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, Mahershala Ali, will be available to rent and own digitally starting Tuesday, August 5th. This is a weekly show, so if you didn't hear about it, now you know. It'll be followed by 4K Blu-ray DVD releases on September 9th. By the way, you only have the right to first sale doctrine if you buy the Blu-ray or DVD release. You cannot sell or transfer your movies in the digital license side because all it is ephemeral license. You don't have the ability to sell it. Yeah, you can only consume it. And they can change the cover art. They can change the video underneath it. It's pretty fascinating. So apparently there's some alternate endings and changes and stuff like that in the physical media side, I guess. One would expect from a major blockbuster like this, the filmmakers have pulled out all the stops in terms of special features. There's an alternate opening and 2 deleted scenes, both of which focus on the dinosaurs. which is what they want to see, right? They say no, just actors chatting. So not just actors chatting. An extended behind-the-scenes documentary, gag reel, 2 feature-length commentaries, and much more, and they have a rundown. So go and check it all out over at Gizmodo. Jermaine Lucier put the article together. Okay, that's it. We are going to, I don't know, what do you want to do? Hatch out of the egg and end up back at the continuity report at ohmTown.com. Go over, sign up, sign in, become a citizen, and join us Monday through Friday for all of the Non Sequitur News episodes that stream to Twitch and YouTube. And you can download the podcast, of course. Make a comment in the YouTube channel. Leave a 5-star review for the, or any, just leave a review over on Apple, and that would be great. Anyway, thanks. Bye-bye.